Hi friends, today I wanted to share with you a few of my favorite Instagram travel photographers in the hopes of giving you a few more people to draw inspiration from. Let's begin, shall we? The first person on the list of photographers that I want to talk about today is a guy named Dan Tom. Of the many things that make a good travel photographer, one thing is how emotionally compelling the photos are. Another thing is the expression of a sense of travel and wandering. All of those things are present in his photos. Dan's work just feels good. That's it, thanks for watching. I kid, but yes, they just feel good. His photos are as emotional as they are visual. They have a rich but also subtle dynamic. The colors are soft and calm, but also moody and dynamic, ranging from warm, summer-esque tones to more warm, summer-esque tones. This is partly post-processing, but this is also his thoughtful ability to lay out the tones found in the scenes that he wanders. All of this comes together to sort of massage the mind, if you're into that kind of thing. His framing is elegantly strict and focused, and the composition of elements within that strict frame are poetically balanced to bring the brain pleasure while telling the story of the scene, and more broadly the story of the endless wandering to be had in the world. The scenes he captures will span from San Francisco to blue shorelines and especially waves, a lot of waves, to dramatic mountainscapes, to sand dunes, to the vast spectrum of deserts on the left side of America, to grassy lands, to Africa, to that freaking tree, and again, and again. For me, Dan has truly inspiring work. He has a signature look that I always recognize in my feed. I recommend you give him, as well as these next two photographers, a follow. Next on the list is Forrest Mankins. Forrest separates himself from Dan by having a much more moody and filmic quality to his tones, a bit like a good Bon Iver record, if you're into that kind of thing. His tones are often very blue, and he seems to utilize early morning and late evening light. He communicates the more emotional moments in nature, tapping into something deep. Photos just as emotional as they are visual. He often includes who I can only guess is his love interest, as well as Penny the puppy. Oh goodness. Oh wow, Penny got so big. His compositions are wildly thoughtful and dynamic. They feel more organic than structured. They sort of want you to explore them. He's a master of leading lines using roads, rivers, paths, streams, waterfalls. He plays creatively within the realm of sound compositional knowledge. He uses this to engage the mind on a journey. He also has this photo of a moose. Like, holy crap. Anywho, one of my favorite things about Forrest's photos is his ability to convey the feeling of travel and wandering. He often takes photos from inside and outside his car, using it as a compositional element, which I think is lovely. It's the place where you spend the most time while traveling. You have a unique relationship with the vehicle that comes with you everywhere you go. He also uses planes and boats. He communicates a sense of movement, making the story as much about the journey as it is about the destination. Forrest is a compelling storyteller around the concept of traveling. And next we have Kevin Russ. Kevin is a prolific photographer in my book. Although he fights viciously in my heart with the other two on this list, he has to be my favorite. His tones are some of the most unique I've seen. He has a very dry filmic look that runs throughout his work that feels pleasant. He turns a photo into a scene to be experienced. He tends to take two very eccentric and dramatic landscapes, capturing places that lean more towards barren than lush. There's an intensity to his photos that engages the mind in a different way. His photos have tremendous emotional depth, maybe accessing some of what one experiences when they are alone in nature. His compositions feel measured and balanced, accounting for every inch of the frame in meticulous detail. He uses geometric symmetry and a masterful balance of colors to make these elements come together with a quiet brilliance. To me, Kevin has earned the title of traveling nomad. Now, I would assume he is staying in the tents shown in his photos. However, in the past, he spent his time train hopping across the US, sleeping somewhere. I live in Utah, and I tend to know roughly where a travel photographer is taking their photos, but Kevin's photos tend to be from places I've never heard of. Unique landscapes across the far reaches of the world. Everyone goes to Iceland and Zion National Park, but not many people go to Batopilas or Kayterskill Falls? And what the heck is Yosemite National Park? I kid. That's obviously a very popular destination in California for many Americans every year, with more than 4.1 million visitors to the park in 2015 and 5 million visitors in 2016. Wow, isn't nature neat? Oh, and did I mention on his main account, all of his photos are taken with an iPhone. Sweet Judith Scheinlin. Once again, his work is absolutely prolific. Okay, that's it. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope that I mentioned a photographer today that maybe you've never heard of before. And now you can add them to your Instagram feed, be inspired, scroll for longer, and do less and less important things with your life. I plan to make more videos of this ilk, and please feel free to engage. I hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.